So let's talk before we move to teen years, because I think it's a little bit different in how you handle. Let's stay in the little kiddo years. How can we practically, and there's a lot of resources out there, but can you give us some ways practically that we can help our kids out? To say like, hey, there's no 100% foolproof way. And I think you mentioned again in another podcast that an email could be sent, and you can't help that. But like, what are some ways that we could get on it today and start helping to protect our kids and keep them from this?
Well, in your home, that's obviously one of the easiest places to protect your kids. And you can install a router, which helps lessen the explicit content coming into your home, the devices in your home. And one of my dear friends, Chris McKenna, runs an organization called Protect Young Eyes. And he has like a whole blog post about how to install a router in your home. And that's a great level of protection in your home.
Okay, great.
And then just establishing, like, safe tech rules, like, if you don't just get on the computer or the iPad and Google anything. Like, if you're, 7, 8, 9 years old, you say, "Hey, mom, I wanna look this up," and let mom or dad know that you're looking for something so that we can sit next to you and help you do a safe search, and then begin to teach them what that looks like, so by the time they're in middle school or high school, they can do it more safely on their own, but you don't just hand them the keys and say drive when, they're 8. You sit next to them and
Yeah.
help them learn how to do this safely. Not playing video games with strangers. That's
Yes.
something a lot of parents don't know. And I would say, like, let's establish that from, little kid all the way through high school. But
Absolutely.
being on a video game console, and it doesn't have to be connected to the internet. It could be connected to your TV, but any video game console that is allowing strangers to play games with your kids, you are allowing a potential predator to have access to your child. And they have headphones on. You don't even know what they're talking about. You
Yeah.
have no idea that that person they're playing with, if they're 12 or they're 35.
Yeah.
So, those are things that you can do in your own home to protect your kids and establish those kind of just using tech in a safe way when they're young. Establishing, again, yourself as the expert, saying, "Hey, I'm here to keep you safe. Here are different ways we do that." Just making tech something that is not individual, but we're doing this as a family.
Family. Yeah. 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 I have given this business idea to several people, and I'm going to now give it to you, Greta, and I need you to implement it. But we need a geek
Okay.
squad, a team of vans that shows up at your house. And we're like, we are the tech support, because I would get like one block of like a password. I'm like, ah, crap. I don't know my iCloud thing. And then I would just forget about it. And so, like, part of me was like, I wish there was a person that would show up and I would bring out every device, everything we have, and we would go through all the things, because I don't even think we realize how awful the parenting controls are. It's like the factory set is terrible. So, like,
Yeah.
getting in there with a friend. And so, my suggestion to you, if Greta doesn't start the Geek Squad for porn, is to invite some friends over and say, we are doing this tonight. Everyone bring your devices, or I'll come to your house, you come to mine, and we open it up and say, oh my gosh, click that. And oh my gosh, go into Roblox and say, we only message friends, or whatever the things are, because the more barriers they have, the better, the safer it is for them. And so, any other thoughts on the parental controls? I think a lot of people don't know that they're set to be wide open from the start on
My
every
gosh,
device.
I had no idea. When my oldest he bought himself an iPad when I think he was 17, and, he's an artist, and he's like, "I need to use this for art," and I'm like, "Yeah, you're 17, it's time. We
Yeah.
can say yes to this." But I was shocked that the factory settings of his iPad, and it would be the same with any other device from Apple and probably from Android as well or whatever, was set to explicit. It was set to explicit. That's how
Wow.
it came. And so I had to figure out how to go in there and change so that I could say, "No, G. We're rating this G,
Yes,
no
right.
explicit." But it is tricky, and I would say that's why my book is not titled, "Here's how to change the settings on all your devices to make it
Yeah.
safe." My book is titled, "It's time to talk to your kids about porn," because the reality is, like you said, there's so much.
Yeah.
There's things that slip through the cracks. I can't tell you how many times parents say, "I did everything right, but my kid found an old phone hidden away in a drawer. We didn't even know it was connected anymore. We didn't even know it was active, but they figured out how to use it."
Yeah.
Or someone shows your kid something, and that
That's right.
means we have to talk about it because things will slip through the cracks.